talking about that. You know that it looks like it's very close that we are going to defund Planned Parenthood. So Eric Cantor, a representative, congressman from Virginia, came out yesterday and said that he is refusing to commit that the Pence Amendment to defund Planned Parenthood will be in the final version of a bill which will fund the government for the rest of the year. Now, let me just remind you of something because I think it bears a comment here. The vast majority of Republicans that are in office right now, especially those that were reelected especially those who were newly elected, ran on a platform that was anti-abortion, that was fiscally conservative. Now, I don't know what part of 324,000 abortions that Republican leader Cantor doesn't understand. I don't know what part of that is meaningless to him. I don't know what part of that is meaningless to the Republicans that might not include that in the upcoming extension for government spending for this year. I don't know what part of 324,000 babies murdered that they don't understand. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what part of that they ran on for their platform when they got reelected last November. I don't understand why that is insignificant. And the fact that, as he said, here's what he said: we are trying to demonstrate right now that we don't want to see a shutdown. He's talking about a government shutdown. We're trying to demonstrate that we don't want to see that. Let me tell you something. If 324 lives are not worth shutting down the government temporarily, to say that is so pathetic is an understatement of the year. And the idea of saving $350 million of taxpayer money, that's money you and I spend for these abortions. This is one abortion center, Planned Parenthood. This is 324,000 abortions that they report. You don't want to shut down the government? So, look, I get it. I get this. There's a fear that President Obama may veto this. And God forbid, we should want to stand on our values and stand on character because we're afraid that there's going to be a veto. So here's the plan. I hope all the GOP is listening. So here's the plan. I got an idea. Let's surrender now before the war starts. That way, we won't have to shut down the government and everybody will be happy. So let's just surrender. Okay? Listen, who cares? Who cares about 324,000 babies? Let's just surrender. Who cares about getting $100 billion of cuts that we were promised? Who cares about the fairness doctrine? Let's just surrender. Who cares about illegal immigration reform? Let's just surrender. Let's not put any of that in the bill. Let's just surrender now. Who cares about cap and trade, which is automatically going to happen because the EPA is going to dictate taxes on emissions, which is going to have a devastating impact on small business and business in general. That is cap and trade, and that's going to happen. Who cares about that, which aside from the Planned Parenthood defunding, I believe is the most important issue in this government spending. Listen, we might not win. So I know these were promises, and I know this is a character issue, and I know this is morality, and I know that some of this flies in the face of what honors God. But look, hey, I don't want to lose a battle. So let's just throw up the white flag and surrender. Look, I said to a lot of emails that I try to reply to, and I said this, I'm not a political commentator. I don't want to get into that. I believe all of these things that I just mentioned are economic issues. They're going to have an impact on our country, not to mention the decay of the moral fiber that will eventually have an impact on the finances of this country. But if we want to throw up the white flag, Representative Cantor, if you want to do that, that's fine. And I'm also talking to Boehner and McConnell and all the others that are scared to death that Obama might veto something. I don't care what he vetoes. I don't care if the government shuts down. Let's do the right thing, and let's stand on the platform that we were elected for back in November. Financial issues. I'm Dan Celia, AFR Talk. Promise, get to the phones.